Mankind has a strange peculiarity. It is inclined to persistently search for alien life and necessarily similar to our own. This is understandable. In this case, the laws by which humanoids from other planets exist would be much clearer to us. Among other things, scientists have not abandoned attempts to find in the universe twins Earth, and they succeed with varying success. For example, far from our planet, there are similar star systems containing objects with conditions identical to Earth. The best known of these are Gliese 581 Gr, Kepler 452, and Ross 128b. The former is located in the constellation Libra, 20 light-years away. It is believed that it is quite possible that it has an atmosphere, liquid water oceans, and life in forms familiar to Earthlings. Moreover, since 1962, regular radio signals were sent in the direction of the said planet, the last of which was sent 10 years ago, in 2009. Unfortunately, there is no feedback from this location yet. The second planet, claiming to be twin Earth, Kepler 452. It is located quite far from us in the constellation of the Swan. The characteristics of Kepler 452 are similar to Earth. It has a year of 384 days. The average surface temperature, without taking into account the possible greenhouse effect, does not exceed 2°C, and its orbit is in the habitability zone of the parent star. And the third contender is Ross 128b. This planet is believed to be the most closely matched to Earth's conditions. The object is located 11 light-years from the Sun in the constellation Virgo. The climate on the planet, according to most scientists, is ideal for the emergence of prerequisites for the emergence of organic life. The temperature range almost duplicates that of Earth, from 21°C to 60°. Ross 128b is at an optimum distance from the calm luminary, which is similar in age to the Sun, about 5 billion years. The year on the planet is short, only 10 days, but this is unlikely to be an obstacle for the origin of life forms. So, the parameters of the named Earth twin candidates give hope in the relative settlement of the macrocosm. But what if such doublers are much closer to the Earth, for example, within the solar system, or even directly on the orbit of our planet? What consequences might await the common home of humanity in such a case? And the second question, what should we fear? Unwanted gravitational effects or militant competition with our neighbors? Let us begin in order. First, in order for life to arise on a twin planet located in the solar system, the body must either be in the same orbit as us or in the space between Earth and Mars, because the red planet is the last frontier of the habitable zone. If the Earth's doubler were to be located further than Mars, creatures like us would hardly be able to live there. It would be too cold for them. As for fending an identical celestial body in Earth's orbit, this version is not so exotic. There have been talks about the anti-Earth for centuries. It has been called variously Ant-Earth, Antishthon, Gloria, Vulcan, but in all cases it refers to a space body permanently located behind the Sun on the opposite side of the Earth's orbit. Presumably, it should be placed at the Lagrange point at the L3 position and must orbit in orbital resonance with the Earth. But in 2007, a pair of scientific instruments of the Stereo Group finally dispelled these vague hopes. The satellites carefully studied the specified location and did not find a single celestial body there. But what would be the prospects for humanity if the twin planet Antichthon still rotated in tandem with the Earth? The main options for the scenario are two. The first, the most tragic. According to him, the two heavenly bodies will inevitably come close to each other at a dangerous distance, resulting in a fatal collision. The second scenario is catastrophic for only one side. It states that over time, one of the bodies will inevitably push the partner from its orbit, after which the double Earth will go straight to the sun. Of course, it's better that it's not our planet. By the way, both scenarios will not materialize instantly. The planetary pair can live in a relatively stable state for billions of years. There are also other variations. Our planet and its twin may rotate next to each other without crossing each other's orbits, like the Earth and the Moon. A similar situation is observed in the Saturnian satellites Epimetheus and Janus. The named objects alternately alternate, periodically lagging or overtaking each other. Most likely, similar catch-ups would also be expected for the Earth-anti-Earth pair, although the binary planet systems are not yet sufficiently studied to draw far-reaching conclusions. Now, the basic question is, if both sites were inhabited by highly evolved civilizations, how would they interact with each other? The answer depends on many factors, primarily whether the species would look, think, and act alike. After all, the fact that the planets are twins does not necessarily guarantee the existence of twin civilizations. Maybe the neighboring world will resemble the utopian planet described by Truman Bethurum, a road worker from California. This citizen even published a book in which he claimed to have repeatedly met the inhabitants of the planet Clarion, which is on the opposite side of the sun. Supposedly, it is this fact that prevents Earthlings from seeing it. Be that as it may, it was impossible to prove or disprove the improbable story of Truman the Dreamer. Assuming that a wise and peaceful civilization does exist, we would probably start with attempts at radio communication with our neighbors. Next, satellites would come into play, and only after that, perhaps, would direct contact take place. One thing is obvious. Sooner or later, neighboring civilizations would have engaged in either trade and cultural exchange or war. But back to reality. If a celestial body as massive as Earth actually existed near us, in a nearby orbit, or simply as part of the planets of the solar system, it would not be able to go unnoticed. Even a 150-kilometer object circling the sun causes certain gravitational disturbances. So what about such a large body? Thus, the opposite Earth is most likely a figment of an inflamed astronomical fantasy, rather than a real object. Therefore, the representatives of humanity, at least the modern ones, are not destined to visit the twin of our blooming planet. The only hope is for guest visits organized on Kepler 452, Ross 128b, and other bodies with a high Earth-like index. Tell us what you think about the presence of Earth twins and the possibility of contact with their inhabitants. Remember that likes, reposts, and subscriptions are very important for the development of our channel, and activating your bell will allow you to receive alerts of updates from Hubble first and foremost. Follow the playlists and stay up to date on popular science and the limitless world of space.